It's Brian Opert from The Ground Up is our show here on WGSO 990. Our phone number is 556-9696. Our very special guest today is Charles Anderson. Charles is an artist today. Didn't used to be. It's funny when I call a guy an artist who just started drawing. How did that happen? You talked a little bit about you were asked to do a drawing of a young man who had been murdered, and then this became some kind of a fiery profession for you, a career objective?
Yeah, I mean, what happened was I would go and do some art, lessons and classes in the community at Apex Teen Center, and I teach the kids, and they see my drawings, and they got really excited, and they would be like, "Oh, that's amazing," and they were just so enthusiastic about it.
Now, the kids at Apex, let's talk about that a little bit. Apex is filled with some very challenged young people.
Oh, that's right.
Some kids who are tough.
Yeah.
In fact, Apex, I understand, is one of the few places that youngsters with ankle bracelets can actually go other than being under house arrest or in school. So it's an unusual facility, and it's in Central City.
I think it's technically
and it's focused on an after-school kind of a program for young people.
Right.
So that's how you got to being the drawing and showing kids your drawing.
Yeah, they would just I would try to have them just sit down for 10, 15 minutes to draw, and then I sort of show them mine, and they ended up copying my stuff. And,
I see.
And wanting to buy my stuff, and I was like, I'm not selling. You can just have it.
Yeah.
And so
now this is with a pencil.
Yeah, this is all graphite. This is just different levels of pencil, and
okay.
As I got better, it filled more and more in.
Okay.
It first started out looking like a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
It was just simple lines with space,
mm-hmm.
right? You think of think of The Simpsons, where there's no shadow,
right?
And as I got better and better, I got a feel for it. I wanted people really to feel that person who I'm trying to depict, and so it got more and more full as far as detail, as far as shadow, clothing, and all that stuff. That all brought about a full-figured person that they that they got to see and experience in their highest moment.
Now, when I think of kids drawing, they're drawing sketches of fancy automobiles, or they're doing comic book characters. That's the kind of drawing that I'm imagining kids do, because I remember what kids did when I was in school. They'd have a workbook full of these sketches of stuff, and some of it pretty good, but certainly not moving or profound.
Right.
And how did you move them to becoming artists where they actually draw stuff that has some impact?
I think it's really about the realism that I try to depict.
Okay.
All my art is realistic, and it comes from what I call a hidden reality. It's this place in New Orleans that's happening in New Orleans, but most people aren't privy to seeing it. These are this peace movement that is in New Orleans. The marches, the interrupters, the people who try to stop the violence and are resilient and brave. And so I depicted those people, and I think that a lot of times the kids looked at that and they saw that this was their city. And kids down here are so proud of their city that they wanted a part of it just because they knew it was happening in New Orleans, and that was real. That they were amazed that a human being could take that thing that was happening right in front of them and put it down on paper and
capture a moment.
It was mesmerizing to them.
I see. So that's where they got the fever.
Yeah.
And you also have another hidden agenda. You're really trying to reach these young people.
Right.
So that you're not doing art for art's sake.
That's
Your
right.
art has got a purpose.
That's a great way of putting it. I'm led by mission vision.
Okay.
And that's a phrase that my good friend D1, the rapper, came up with, and it's basically looking at the world through a focused lens, through seeing what's going to be positive and what's going to help you in your life and what's not, and sort of parting the seas, as you will, and really focusing on the good things in life. And so all my pictures are about the violence in the city, but you'll never see a dead body. You'll see that person praying, or you'll see Martin Luther King. You'll see D1 looking out onto his city in just a calm, beautiful way. So I really try to show them that look, even though there's these things that are happening around you, you can respond positively to that, and you can show people that there are good people in this world that want to make a change and that are doing those things, and they're courageous and they're brave and they're just self-willed and that sort of thing. That they are everything that we should all grow up to be.